Imagine holding your newborn baby, but you're not in a modern hospital. You're standing in a world from 10,000 years ago. There are no doctors, no medicine, no vaccines, no baby formula, not even clean drinking water. As night falls, the temperature drops rapidly. In the darkness beyond your campfire, hungry wolves and other predators are waiting. A simple fever, a small infection, or one freezing night could be enough to take your child's life. Today we rely on modern science to protect our children. But our ancestors had none of these advantages, and yet somehow they succeeded. Here's the shocking truth. If ancient humans had failed to keep their children alive, humanity would have disappeared long before civilization ever began. So what was their secret? How did parents protect babies in one of the most dangerous periods in human history? Did they have survival techniques we've forgotten? Did entire tribes work together in ways that seem impossible today? Or was the answer something surprisingly simple? In this video, we're uncovering the incredible survival strategies that helped ancient humans raise children against impossible odds. And trust me, the final secret may completely change the way you think about human survival. Imagine being born 10,000 years ago. There were no hospitals, no medicines, no vaccines, and no clean drinking water. A minor illness, a cold night, or a shortage of food could easily become deadly, yet humanity survived. Not only did humans survive, they spread across the entire planet. But how? One of the most powerful tools ancient parents had was breast milk. Children were often breastfed for several years, providing them with a safe and nutritious source of food. But raising children wasn't just the responsibility of parents. Entire tribes helped care for them. Grandparents, older siblings, and other members of the community all played important roles in protecting and supporting children. Another important survival strategy was keeping babies close at all times. Parents carried infants in their arms or in simple slings made from animal skins and cloth. This kept babies warm, safe, and protected from danger. When illness struck, ancient people turned to herbs and natural remedies. While not every treatment worked, some were surprisingly effective. Food was equally important. Children were given roots, berries, fish, and meat whenever possible to help them grow strong and healthy. During difficult times, parents often sacrificed their own meals so their children could eat first, because children represented the future of the tribe. But the greatest secret wasn't food, it wasn't medicine, it was cooperation. Humans survived because they worked together. Entire communities invested in the survival of every child, and that may be the reason all of us are here today. Now think about this. If you were suddenly transported 10,000 years into the past, could you keep your children alive? But surviving childhood in the ancient world wasn't just about avoiding predators. The real enemy was often invisible. A child could look perfectly healthy in the morning and become dangerously ill by nightfall. Ancient parents had no idea what bacteria or viruses were. They didn't know about germs. They couldn't see microscopic organisms hiding in water, food, or wounds. To them, illness seemed mysterious. One day a child was laughing. The next day they were burning with fever. Imagine the fear. You are a parent living 10,000 years ago. Your child suddenly becomes weak. They stop eating. They stop playing. Their skin feels hot. Their breathing changes. You have no doctor to call, no pharmacy nearby, no emergency room. Only the knowledge passed down through generations. This is where tribal wisdom became incredibly important. Over thousands of years, ancient people observed nature carefully. They learned which plants helped wounds heal, which leaves reduced pain, which roots could ease stomach problems. Many of these discoveries came through trial and error. Unfortunately, mistakes could be deadly. Some plants healed, others poisoned. Yet generation after generation, useful knowledge survived, and that knowledge became one of humanity's greatest tools. Ancient healers were highly respected. They remembered remedies. They studied animals. They observed seasonal changes. They became living libraries of survival information. But medicine alone wasn't enough. Food was the foundation of life, and finding food was often a daily battle. Unlike modern families who visit supermarkets, ancient humans never knew exactly where their next meal would come from. Every morning began with uncertainty. Would the hunters succeed? Would fish be available? Would edible plants be found? Or would the family go hungry? Children suffered most during food shortages. Their growing bodies needed constant nutrition. Without enough food, children became weaker, and weak children became more vulnerable to disease. That's why ancient communities worked together. Instead of one family struggling alone, many tribes shared resources. A successful hunter often fed multiple families. Gatherers returned with berries, nuts, roots, and fruits for everyone. Food sharing increased the survival chances of the entire group. Scientists believe cooperation was one of the key reasons humans became so successful. Many predators were stronger than humans. Some animals were faster. Others had sharper teeth. But humans had something unique: teamwork. And nowhere was teamwork more important than protecting children. When mothers needed to gather food, other adults watched the babies. When parents became sick, relatives stepped in. If tragedy struck, orphaned children were often cared for by other members of the tribe. In many ways, every child belonged to the community. This greatly increased survival rates. Another challenge was weather. Modern homes protect us from heat, cold, wind, and rain. Ancient families had no such luxury. A harsh winter could kill. Heavy storms could destroy shelters. Extreme heat could cause dehydration. Parents constantly adapted. They built better shelters. They used animal skins for warmth. They stayed near reliable water sources, and they migrated when necessary. Some groups followed seasonal patterns for thousands of years. Moving with the climate helped them survive. Children learned these survival strategies from an early age. Education didn't happen in classrooms. It happened through observation. A child watched adults make fire. They learned how to recognize animal tracks. They discovered which berries were safe, which plants were dangerous. Knowledge meant survival. And survival knowledge was passed down every day. One mistake could have serious consequences: a poisonous berry, a dangerous river, a predator hidden in tall grass. Ancient children learned quickly because their lives depended on it. Interestingly, humans evolved with unusually long childhoods. Many animals become independent within months. Human children require years of care. At first glance, this seems like a weakness, but it became one of our greatest strengths. Long childhoods allowed young humans to learn complex skills: hunting, tracking, tool making, communication, cooperation. All of these abilities required time. Parents invested years into raising children because educated children became successful adults, and successful adults helped the tribe survive. Over time, this strategy transformed humanity. Generation after generation, knowledge accumulated, skills improved, communities became stronger, and survival rates increased. But even then, life remained dangerous. Many children never reached adulthood. The ancient world was unforgiving. Every surviving child represented an incredible victory. Every birthday was an achievement. Every generation that survived made our existence possible today. Think about that for a moment. Thousands of ancestors faced impossible odds, yet somehow they succeeded. If just one generation had failed, you would never have been born. And that's perhaps the most remarkable survival story in human history.